Hello, 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 beautiful people, and welcome back. I am Leah Murphy. I am the CEO of Career Gems for the Journey, where we help talented professionals build thriving careers. And we are going to get into what is unfortunately a taboo topic. And I'm saying unfortunately because I don't understand why it's taboo. What I do understand is that it is. So I'm not here to get into the why these things happen. I'm more trying to line us up and make sure that we are set up for success because I'm really personally passionate about setting us up for success. And that's really why the Career and Care Summit was born. That's why the business exists. So the topic today, as you guys will see on the headline, and we saw a lot of people who are, I just got an error. An error occurred. Wait a moment while we try again. So let me make sure. Let's try again. Let us try again. Okay, now it says that we are actually live. So a little bit of a delay. Forgive us for that. You know, the internet still has to do what the internet has to do. So for those of you who are just joining or are riding with us or been with us for a minute, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Leah C. Murphy, and I'm the CEO of Career Gems for the Journey, where we help thriving professionals build really phenomenal careers. So I want to talk about a topic that feels taboo. And it feels taboo because it is. And I don't want to shy away from the idea that it is taboo or really challenge or ask us any weird questions about why things have to be the way that they are. I really want to focus on facing my front. What should we be doing in order to support people who are navigating career, especially professional women who are navigating career in their second active life? That's really why the Career and Care Summit was born. We get to work with talented professionals in all kinds of discipline, in all kinds of places. And we really wanted to make sure that the summit felt like it was tapping in the right places and solving problems, creating solutions for the population that we serve. So if you're with us live, I would love it if you would drop your city in the chat. It would mean everything to know who's riding with us. If you are listening on the replay, because we hear a lot of people that are listening on the replay, we love that for us. And we also love that for you. The replay has been doing amazing things in 2025 and into 2026. And listen, we are just walking into 2026, and we are walking into 2026 with all of the restful consideration that we took closing out 2025. But I made a comment earlier with my team, and you'll probably see it go up on social media. If you survived last week, which began January 5th, and last week was what I'm calling circle back week. It was a whole week of circling back on all the things that we said we were going to leave for 2026. We're going to pick that up when we kick off 2026. If you work in corporate or if you work in any workplace, there was a lot of, listen, we're just going to circle back for that after the new year. Now here we are dealing with the choices that we made, the consequences of our choices, which is now we actually got to do the circling back. So last week, the first week of January, the first week that everybody came back from those long holiday breaks for a lot of folks, that was Circle Back Week. And listen, you survived Circle Back Week. Now, you may feel like a ballerina. You may feel like a gymnast. You may feel like you circle back so hard that you deserve a reward. And I'm here for that. I love that for you. I love that for me too. Circle Back Week takes a lot. There's a lot of mental effort to remember all the things that we said we were going to circle back on. But the crazy part is we're going to do it again at the end of 2026. We're going to leave a bunch of stuff in 2027 that we're going to need to circle back to. But if you were a circle back ballerina all the week of January 5th, I salute you. I see you. I feel you. That was me too. So now that we've kind of gotten that out of the way, we got a few folks to drop their city in the chat. What I want to get really, right into is this discussion around perimenopause. So perimenopause and menopause is like, as soon as you say it, people kind of look left and look right. And the reason why I'm not sure of, right, why we have this perception of what is a normal process that many professional women are navigating, it is not something that makes total sense to me, but I'm glad you're here because I want us to have a discussion. I want to tell you what I know, but I also want to tell you what I don't know. And I want to make sure that I give you a perspective of why the Career and Care Summit exists and what you'll experience there, tying into menopause and perimenopause, because that really drove a lot of the conversation last year in 2025. So I want to really get to it and say it up front. We are not going to whisper about perimenopause and menopause anymore. We're done with that over here. We are not going to minimize and kind of under acknowledge. We're just done with that. We're going to leave that in 2025. We're definitely not going to pretend it's just no big deal and there's nothing, no change that's kind of required. We are leaving all of that in 2025. In 2026, we are facing our front and we're being really thoughtful on what topics we cover, and what's going to be taboo is not going to be taboo for us. When we decided to incorporate perimenopause and menopause into last year's summit in 2025, it felt extremely taboo, uncomfortable. Actually, people told me I shouldn't include it. And seriously, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I could not understand why it was taboo, because it was the reality for so many of our clients that we were working with, whether it's one-on-one executive coaching clients, group programs, regardless of where we came across women, we were hearing that there was an impact that perimenopause and menopause was having on their career. And the fact of the matter is, not only was it happening in my professional life, but it was all over my group chat, right? And that's when you know it's real. When the people that you're talking to on text message are like, oh yeah, me too. And if I am talking about perimenopause and menopause in my group chats, I know other people were doing the same. So if it makes you uncomfortable to have this discussion, it also probably means you're not well informed. And it means that you're probably not doing what could be helpful to support those who are navigating it, or maybe you're a little bit in denial that there's a need for you to change. So I want to disrupt that now. I want to do my best to give us a new opportunity to start fresh in 2026. So those who are navigating perimenopause and menopause, I'm raising my hand, really are navigating what is a normal change of life. So men and women alike need to understand perimenopause and menopause, and something that seems so obvious that needs to be better understood doesn't mean that it's simple. It doesn't mean that it's without issue. It doesn't mean that it won't make some people uncomfortable. So I understand that. The crazy part is, literally, we all know so many people who we love, who we care about, who we respect, who are our friends, who are our loved ones, who are our partners, who are important people in our lives that we are connected to, that are navigating this significant life change, but there just weren't enough people talking about it. It seemed strange. It was like pink elephant in the room energy. So what I am really excited about now in 2026 is that we have the absolutely brilliant Dr. Sophia Lubin from the Dr. Sophia podcast, who is going to join us for the second year in a row at the Career and Care Summit. Now, that the second year in a row, we had to run it back with Dr. Sophia because she really illuminated so much for so many of our attendees. She's bringing her authenticity, her medical expertise in all of her years of practicing as an OBGYN, and she's bringing that to the Career and Care Summit, to the big stage. It means that, it means so much to me. It means literally everything that we can use our platform to provide what I think is valuable information that otherwise I was seeing be just overlooked. So I want to make sure that we're intentional, not about who we put on stage only, but about the connections and the resources that we provide for everyone who attends the summit in person. So those relationships, those connections, those resources not only enhance the experience in the summit real time, but it really multiplies the value for the time that you are investing when you join us at the summit, because we know your time is valuable. We know that you're busy, and we know that you need to maximize and to have a ROI for your time. So it really does absolutely have this potential to change your life by attending the Career and Care Summit for one day in person. So I am thrilled that we're seeing discussions around perimenopause and menopause being discussed on more platforms and on a broader scale. I love that. And those platforms are far bigger than mine, far bigger than the audience that I get to talk to on a regular basis. I love my audience, but I understand that the multiplication factor is what's going to help to disrupt this taboo. You guys know I love the delightful, talented Tabitha Brown. She's been talking about perimenopause and menopause on her platform. I've heard references to perimenopause and menopause be made by Mel Robbins, who's another huge YouTuber platform podcast creator. For those of you who don't know, Mel Robbins would love to be on the Mel Robbins podcast, just putting that out there. I've even seen references to perimenopause and menopause on Diary of a CEO. And the Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett has really opened the audience, right? Because now there's a lot of cross-pollination that's happening. So I'm just thrilled that these big, massive platforms that are super influential with millions and millions of followers combined, right? Exponential growth beyond what we're doing here are talking about it or are starting to nibble at what I think is a really important topic, especially when so many of the women, and bringing it full circle here, so many of the women who are navigating this second act of life and working full time or experiencing all of life, all that life has to offer, whether it be caregiving, whether it's adapting to changes at work, whether it's all of the things that we already know around economic pressures and all of life happening, those people need our support. They need advocacy. We need support and advocacy and acknowledgement that a change is happening. So it directly affects our career. So as I mentioned, Dr. Sophia is our expert. So I'm not going to steal any thunder. I'm not going to jump the gun for her because she is coming to the Career and Care Summit in person on March 21st, 2026. And she is going to give us the tea. I strongly encourage all of you to be in the room when she's there. So you have to grab your ticket in order to get it. So I am going to just scratch the surface and talk a little bit about my experience, because I think that can kind of allow us to break down some of the barriers. Now, I just tapped the mic. I'm going to get in trouble. Menopause is one of those life transitions, and perimenopause that goes before menopause that most women experience, but we are often underprepared for it. It's not necessarily acknowledged early on, sometimes by medical professionals, and sometimes we feel like we have to ask so many questions to get any real answers, maybe 10 times the questions to get real answers. And we have to continue to show up and perform and deliver as though nothing is happening. Now, I feel really fortunate because I have mothers and sisters and community members who have been very transparent about me, about their experience, but I realize that's not everyone's story. So I want to help change that for everyone who is listening. Everyone who is listening to this, I want to make sure that that lack of knowledge or lack of access to information is diminished so slightly. And I'm not saying that we can solve all the problems related to a lack of understanding with one event or with one LinkedIn Live or one podcast, but I want to do my best to impact a little corner of the world that I occupy. That's twice, y'all. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. And I'm saying that because the truth is, every single woman that I talk to who is navigating their second act of life, I'm going to stop talking with my hands because I'm going to get in trouble by hitting the mic. Everyone I talk to who is navigating this change, the changes that come along with perimenopause and menopause, we're so thrilled, so relieved, so grateful that we were acknowledging what they had been navigating silently. So we introduced this topic, and maybe that feels like an act of courage to some of you. Maybe that feels like it's brave. But I want to give us an opportunity to push back on stigma and taboo, and maybe even some folks may be feeling shame, because I think the solution is an active community and an act of acknowledging shared experiences. And when we can do that together in a safe space, in a shared community setting, we can grow our understanding together. And that also enhances our ability to support one another. And that goes for men and women alike. So to all of those women who are navigating perimenopause and menopause and just the shift, I see you. I see you, I hear you, and I want to make sure that we create a space so that you can feel heard, acknowledged, and safe, and that we can provide resources to help you better understand your body and better navigate your life comfortably. So what is menopause? What is perimenopause? Maybe people are on the sidelines. Maybe there's some individuals that just don't know, and that's fine. So here we are learning together. The definition of menopause is 12 months without a menstrual cycle. Ooh, I said menstrual cycle. It's going to send the internet crazy. But if that definition kind of feels wildly insufficient, it's because menopause is not just one date on a calendar where now you've officially gone through menopause. It's a biological transition that's happening over time. It starts with perimenopause, which is before the actual 12-month of no cycle happens. And then it goes into actually pausing the menstrual cycle altogether. So for many of us, we're aware that it exists, but we don't necessarily know all the symptoms. We don't know the signs. And we may be thinking, oh, I'm going crazy, or I need to go see all kinds of specialists because I'm feeling different. You could be navigating hot flashes or night sweats. You could be having interrupted sleep or just poor quality of sleep. Sometimes it comes along with brain fog or memory lapses, and our old trusty favorite mood changes or anxiety that feels unfamiliar. Like that is what we're hearing from a lot of women who are navigating perimenopause and menopause. There sometimes can even be changes in your weight or metabolism, lower energy or stamina. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. I just rattled off a list of things. I'm sure it's not comprehensive, but many women who are experiencing all of these changes, or some of them, are still working full time. They're still caregiving, they're still community leading, they're still leading teams, they're managing households, they're navigating all of life as it is and being expected to show up as if nothing happened. But how can you do that when you're having interrupted sleep? How can you do that when you're navigating brain fog? And this is not to make it seem like women are incapable. It's just that there's no business or workplace onboarding or acknowledgement of menopause. So many women, especially if they're the first and only, are navigating this alone in the spaces that they work in. And there's no grace that's given, there's no adjustment for performance. So if we can't change the rules of what's happening in corporate, then I want to change the way women get supported in their community. And when I say corporate, I mean workplaces in general. Because often what I'm hearing is I'm being asked to function in a system that was never designed with my body in mind. Now, there's lots of arguments for that. We are not going to solve all of the arguments for that, but that matters. If you want to keep capable, brilliant, talented, business leading, innovative individuals inside of your workplace, and you want to create an environment that will allow them to be successful and thrive, acknowledging and knowing that there's a change that's happening and supporting them through that, it can be such a game changer because it's not just the physical symptoms, it's the things that go along with it. And here's the part that I am also, maybe you may find yourself thinking, is it really necessary for us to talk about this? Is this appropriate for whatever platform that you're listening on? And I think that's the part that is blowing my mind constantly. Because if you have women that exist in these spaces that are adding value to these platforms, then absolutely this is the place where we can have and need to have these discussions. And we need to go deeper when we can to provide those women the resources and support systems that they need. And that's a lot of the reason why the Career and Care Summit had to exist. Because I, as an individual, was looking for support systems and answers and strategies and tools and whatever I could in order to navigate my own perimenopause journey. And I was certain, because of what was happening in my group chat, shout out to the group chat, that there were lots of other people that were navigating the same. So why not take that knowledge, that knowing, and do something about it and take a really intentional action? So for anyone who is navigating perimenopause, it can feel like a remote control is activating your body, but you're not holding the remote control. There's a remote control that manages your body, but someone else is pushing the buttons. And while someone else is pushing all of the buttons on the remote control to your body, changing channels, adjusting volume, modifying, going to different screens, whatever you're doing on that remote control, the expectation that you're expected to behave like nothing is happening is what is really holding a lot of us back. It's causing frustration, it's causing disappointment, it's causing shame, it's causing, friction in areas where it doesn't have to be. So it can often be what makes us feel so out of place in our own bodies, that there's a remote control controlling our body, and we don't have our hands on it. So because I think it's so important, and because I believe it can be a real game changer to equip the people who are navigating menopause and perimenopause in the workplace with the right resources, tools, and expert knowledge, the Career and Care Summit exists. And I'd love to take it a step further and have workplaces and employers and larger organizations that are thoughtful and considerate, and that policy gets developed around perimenopause and menopause. So if you're here for that, so am I. My number hasn't changed. Call me. I would love to be a part of those really important discussions. And no one benefits from women remaining quiet and accommodating to what we know is a change that could use their support, use all of our support. We can use the support. It would benefit the greater ecosystem. So no one benefits from staying quiet. No one benefits from not acknowledging what we know is a real challenge. Only further consequence of taboo and stigma and shame come along with staying quiet. So we're leaving staying quiet about that in 2025. We want to make sure in 2026 we create an opportunity where the entire you, the whole you, gets the support that it needs. So we would love for you to join us at the Career and Care Summit, March 21st, 2026, at the Community College of Philadelphia. You can grab a ticket via the QR code that's here on the screen. You can also head over to our website at gemsforthejourney.org to be able to go grab your ticket. They are available right now. I encourage you to go grab yours today. And I appreciate you for riding with us. It means the world that you took the time. And I will see you next time. Please continue to make your journey work for you.